These things of Muhoozi abusing
the US ambassador,
giving him
ultimatum.
I told someone that I am very happy that Muhoozi is doing this to all these fellows, because he was urinating on us as they were there. Now let him begin urinating on everybody in the region. Maybe someone will say, guys.
You mean Susu? You're Susu?
Yes. So this is what he's been doing to us Ugandans. Now you're
urinating on diplomats.
I am very happy.
Captain Babu, we're looking at scandals. Is there any scandal that you say will be the most significant for 2024?
No, in this country we have people who create scandals and they think they are. But to me this is drama. What you are calling scandal, I call drama. Because a real scandal which is done out of things is this thing of, for example, if you walked, on Kampala Road and you removed your clothes and walked naked, I would say that is a scandal. But then I would say, but the man may be sick. We need to treat him. But these guys who are doing these things, which
look, we've had scandals, the BOU scandal. We've had.
You mean the stealing of money?
Yes.
No, those are thieves. Why do you call it scandal? These are thieves. I think a scandal will have
scandalous,
to get... is it scandalous? When you have thieves all over the place? This place is full of thieves around the whole government. You hear here, people have lost money here, people have lost money there. They are telling us that you're now using computer to steal the money. All the money which you were supposed to build the war. What happened? Where's the war? Where's the war, Mr. Member of Parliament? You're one of the...
us to visit.
Where's the war? Now that one I would call a scandal. Because we were told the money was given by members of parliament, and they were supposed to have a hospital. There are many, but to me, unfortunately, I'm sorry when I say sometimes I don't want to discuss these issues. It's not that I'm trying to despise the people who are involved in them, in this drama, which we can all see. We can all see that this is a group of people stealing money. We can see where the money is going, and we know what they're doing. We hear, this SEMUJJU thing you're talking about. And what's the other, Karuma? You hear, there were some mistakes in Karuma. There's another one, which is after Bujagari. What is it called? In Simba. They said that it flooded the other day. Bad construction. Money was eaten there. These are scandals.
Honorable SEMUJJU, scandals of the year.
There are things that may not have received a lot of publicity, but things that define our situation as a country. In a cabinet retreat, where you have the vice president, you have the prime minister in Chankwanzi, the president says, I'll take a break. Mama will continue chairing.
Who is Mama?
His wife. Cabinet in a retreat where you have a vice president who in our constitution is number 2. In fact, when the president dies, like it happened in Tanzania, the vice president is supposed to take over. They are there. In the hierarchy of government, the prime minister, I think, comes after the deputy speaker. I even asked them in the parliament to tell me if they have overrun the hierarchy as they were publicizing it. So the president says he leaves the cabinet and he says Mama will continue chairing. I told you that story of how Evelyn Anite made the presentation on behalf of state ministers, and she said part of the reason there is corruption in Uganda is because of nepotism. And Mama, who was left to chair the meeting, started crying that you are choosing my husband and my brother-in-law and my son. And that long story I don't have to repeat. When Professor Kam stood and the only solution, he said, Mama, now we can pray. But for me, the point is that this is how the president looks at a country. That if
you choose that for a scandal.
No, that defines Uganda. These things of Muhoozi abusing
The US ambassador
giving him
ultimatum.
I told someone that I am very happy that Muhoozi is doing this to all these fellows, because he was urinating on us as they were there. Now let him begin urinating on everybody in the region. Maybe someone will say, guys.
You mean Susu? You're Susu?
Yes. So this is what he's been doing to us Ugandans. Now you're
so he's urinating on diplomats.
I am very happy. Let him begin urinating at all the leaders and armies in the region. Maybe his father will now buy him a pump. So that defines the country called Uganda. That the president in a cabinet retreat, he can say, please excuse me, I have another, my wife continue caring. Really, in a country. So why do you blame Muhoozi when he begins urinating on everybody? So that's the country that the president has built. Your president is now without shame. And it is going to be very difficult to reverse that. The reason Muhoozi says I will be the president after my father is because that's what happens at their table, that this thing is ours. If Mama is not there, me, I will take over. Now, recently Muhoozi said, no, I will not be the first. When my father stops being president, Mama will take it for some time and I will come. So that's how they view us. So for me, that defines the scandal. All the other things are smaller things. If people have stolen money, you can take them to Luzira. Like it has happened historically in all countries, even in Europe, they steal. But when someone appropriates a country and turns it into a family enterprise, if matters of export, now one of the Muko sons in law, you are in charge of export. The other day we are quarreling in parliament. You have a ministry responsible for that. But Ruawogu is in charge of 100 billion that is going to promote Uganda's export. And then you have that scandal of the coffee. That guy first took 37 billion, now they took another 70. And then one of the things they are doing is teach Ugandans how to drink coffee. Then they took the president to Sabia in a bar and said this guy is going to be the one promoting the export.
He doesn't drink. How did he go to the bar?
No, they told him it is a coffee shop.
Oh, okay.
But the following day, you know, in Europe, they do things. I've gone to attend the Juma prayer in a hall where they are staging shows. So the Juma prayer will happen, and after in the evening, it is a theater. So they took him to a bar. That's why the president went to launch in Zambia. So here, family rule in all its manifestations.
No, I went to Zambia to see Tito's grave.
No, I am talking about this specific event that they publicized. That the other things we went to do, I didn't concern me. What concerned me is that we appropriated 100 billion to promote Uganda's export, and the first event to which they took the president to see how far they had gone with export was a bar. And then they said this is a coffee shop. The following day, it was a bar. People drinking, drinking alcohol.
And the leader of opposition was following up on our money.
Yeah, so therefore, me, that defined where
you want to respond to that?
To respond to what?
Tungamo factory.
I don't know. 100 billion is right there.
I don't know why in Tungamo. I don't know. Because if you are given money, free money like they were given, you see,
building and the leader of opposition went on a familiarization tour.
You need to be very careful. This guy of vaccine, Magora, he was given money during COVID. And he was going to produce
making a factory.
Yeah, they said during COVID that he's going to produce a vaccine. You remember Kadaga saying that we will no longer need to get vaccines from Europe. What happened? The day Museveni went to visit that place in Luzira, that time he was operating in Luzira, they said stop Museveni from entering, you just pour chemicals all over the place. When Museveni arrived, they said, but the chemicals I'm not sure the president can enter. And they were smelling. Then he stopped there, and that was the launch, and he left. That guy, with all the money they took during COVID, did they ever produce a vaccine? Now that is going to be pharmaceutical to begin selling drugs all over.
Where?
Go to Chiramoto. We have spent now close to 400 billion shilling in Chiramoto. I went there and asked them. And then the president said they are going to supply electric buses to Nigeria, but they have only produced 80. Using 400 billion, produced 80. I don't know if the whole market in Africa is 80 vehicles. So be very careful. So therefore, for me, as I said, I don't know, because we have spent so far 400 and we have produced about 80.
Okay.
So I didn't want to be diverted. I didn't want to be diverted by the coffee. Because
you're not excited.
Because I saw what happened to the president when he went to Ruzira.
Well, at least your leader of opposition made a tour of the facility.
He went there to come and give Parliament a report. And I'm not sure whether that report he gave, but he's been giving reports everywhere he has gone. So you are diverting me from the scandal. These are small things. These are illustrations of the point where you are the arbitrariness that the president, who has ministers responsible for sectors, he can bring inroads and he say, for you now, you go and take over this sector. You are in charge of creating wealth. You have a whole Minister of Finance and Planning. But Sare in Guru, everybody goes to Guru if you want to become wealth. So that's where you go. If you want to export...
You have to be careful. He warned you the other day.
Yeah, but you see, the best way for him is to divest himself from public life. The moment you begin transacting public business, we will be commenting about you. If you want to kill us, you can do so. The moment you are in public, if you don't want people to speak about it, I mean, there are other 7 narratives that we don't talk about. Are they not there?
Isn't it odd that SEMUJJU is not speaking about the scandal that Parliament has been this year? It's been more of a scene of drama.
I have said all these manifestations. I want to speak about things that are going to determine the direction the country is taking. People like smaller things.
Okay, do you agree Parliament has been scandalous this year?
No, I told you from the beginning that the scandal is not the money. The scandal was the sort of human resource that was put at running the Parliament. So if you put someone who can score as their striker, so the scandal doesn't become not scoring. The scandal begins with selecting that person to be a striker. But for you like going for smaller things. Me, I want to go for bigger things. Yes. If you select a team of human resources you are sure will not deliver, and it doesn't deliver. So the scandal is not them not delivering. The scandal is selection.
As we get out of here, Yusuf, we need to look at some of the personalities and how they fared. Of course,
Simon, I need to pick from where SMG stopped. And he said, we need to stop focusing on the small scandals and go to the bigger scandal. Now, when you look at the litany of things that SEMUJJU has touched, these are things which are substantive enough to overthrow a government, to collapse on itself. In the accumulation of all these scandal after scandal involving just the palace and the people around the system, but then you ask, how has it been possible? Because this is not the first time this is happening. You know, we used to sit back and say, oh, look at Zimbabwe. Oh, see how Mugabe is governing that country. Oh, look at the other place. Look at Bouteflika. We used to laugh and say, hey, look, all the things. The wife is the son, Gaddafi. Now it is us. And then we keep asking, how did this happen here? So the biggest scandal for me is a thing is we need to understand we have never been able as internally as a country to change our leadership without external help. Neither have our leaderships been able to overstay on us, if that expression is acceptable, without external help.
Well, I want to...
This is why... There's the point that somebody touched a couple of beautiful things that we don't need to lose. This is why when somebody says he was happy when Muhoozi Kainerugaba was urinating on these diplomats, because these diplomats have sustained this system in power. They have entered a negotiation that give me and I give you. So Museveni says, we want you to go and do us a job in Somalia. Museveni is ready to send them troops. We need you to keep the government in South Sudan because we are staying all there, and Museveni is happy to do that. So they have a mercenary system. So when MK starts urinating on them, these people have sustained this system.
I think urinating
on us.
Was what?
It normally appears in plenty of editorial cartoons across the country, in many major newspapers. So I think for me, we don't need to lose the scandal that SEMUJJU has pointed to, that the policy scandal will soon will engulf the entire country. And Simon, we are looking at either Sudan, Khartoum, what is happening right now, or we are looking at Somalia.